Hi everyone and welcome to Nicole Windle Yoga. So today we're going to be focusing on yoga for back pain. So grab your mat, grab a block if you have one. If you don't have one, just grab a pillow. We can use a pillow instead. Get into something comfortable and let's get started. So we'll begin in our child's pose. So taking the knees wide apart, big toes to touch, and come and bring the forehead down towards the floor. Allow the arms to stay stretched out in front of you. Begin to take some deep inhales and exhales, in and out through the nose. Allowing yourself to arrive on the mat. And letting go of any to-do list of the day and just starting to become present in the body and present in the breath. We'll begin by moving the hands over to the right side of your mat. Maybe they come off the mat. Moving the head in the same direction. And try and bring the forehead back down towards the floor. Sending your left buttock towards the heel, stretching out through the left side of the torso. Can you keep the shoulders relaxed? And then inhale, come back through to center. And then walk the hands over to the other side. Again, relaxing the shoulders, bring the forehead down to the floor. And can you send the right buttock towards the heel? And then gently coming back through center. Let's take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Release that softness in the lower back. Let's take a deep breath and a deep breath out. Slowly coming up onto your hands and knees into your tabletop position. Bringing the knees underneath the hips and the hands underneath the shoulders, spreading the fingers nice and wide. Let's begin with some cat-cows. As we inhale, drop the belly, send the chest forwards, relax the shoulders. Exhale, rounding the spine, drop the head, push the shoulder blades up as high as you can. Inhale, belly down, sit bones up, shoulders relaxed. Exhaling, rounding the spine, press the hands and the tops of the feet into the mat. Just taking a few more like this, nice and slow, moving between the two. If you want to take some sways from side to side, maybe starting to create a figure eight with your body, moving your hips and your shoulders. Just taking some nice freestyle movement, whatever feels nice in your body. And then just making your way back through to center. We inhale, reach the right arm out to the side and then scoop it underneath your left arm. Bend your left arm so you can bring your right shoulder and the side of the head down towards the mat. Keep pressing the back of your right hand into the floor and the sit bones are up nice and high. So you may want to keep your left hand in front of your face, bending the elbow as you press into the floor, opening out through the chest. This may be enough, or you can reach your left arm towards the top of the mat. Or maybe you even want to take that left arm behind you towards your right hip or your thigh and roll the shoulder away, opening out through the chest. One more breath. And then release the left hand back down by your face. Push back up onto hands and knees and bring some freestyle movement into the spine. Release the hips and the shoulders. And then we go over to the other side. Let's take the left arm out to the side, reach up high. Scoop it underneath the right arm. Bend your right arm, left shoulder, side of the head comes down to the mat. Again, pressing the back of your left arm into the floor. Keeping the right hand in front of the face, maybe to the top of your mat. Maybe up to the sky, maybe behind you, reaching towards the opposite thigh. Keep rolling your right shoulder away from the ear as you open up through the chest. One more breath. Exhale, bring the hand back by the face. Push back up onto your hands and knees. Bring some movement into the spine, just releasing in any way that you need to. Nice. From our tabletop position, let's step the knees backwards. Bend the elbows and lower the torso down to the mat. Nice. Keep the hands underneath the shoulders, elbows pushing in. Tops of the feet are together and pressing down into the floor. Let's take an inhale, lifting up through the chest. Press through the hands, lift up through the torso. The neck is an extension of the spine, so try not to crack it up. See if you can lengthen out through the crown of the head. Now engaging the legs, squeeze the thighs, squeeze the buttocks, using the lower back strength to keep you there. Keep breathing into the belly. Can you release the hands off the mat? Can you inhale, lift up a little bit higher? Nice, let's take one more breath in. Exhale, release the hands back down, push back onto the knees. Let's tuck the toes, lift up into downward facing dog. Walk out the heels, lengthen through the backs of the legs, soften the shoulders as you send the sit bones backwards and upwards. Nice, from here we're going to roll the weight forwards, come into our high plank. Bring the knees down, bend the elbows and bring the chest back down to the floor. From here, slide the hands forwards. So now the elbows are underneath the shoulders. You're trying to make that nice stacked on 90-degree angle. Elbows are shoulder width apart, underneath the shoulders. Elbows, wrists and fingers are in a straight line. Again, bring the legs together. Now, coming into your Sphinx pose, gentle back bend. This may be enough. If it's already a bit too tight, a bit too much of a back bend, you can walk the elbows slightly in front so the chest isn't as lifted. If not, you can stay here. Nice. Let's press the elbows and the forearms and the hands down into the mat. Lifting and trying to peel the rib cage away from the floor. Engaging through the legs, squeeze through the buttocks. Try and press the pubic bone down into the floor. And without moving the hands, can you start to drag the hands backwards as if you're trying to slide yourself towards the top of your mat. Soften the shoulders, close down the eyes. Inhale, lengthen up through the crown of the head. Trying to reach the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, sink a little bit deeper into the pose. With each inhale, can you lengthen up a little bit higher? Let's take 3 more breaths here. Last inhale. And then gently release. Let's bring the forehead down towards the mat, maybe the chin. Bringing the hands either side of the body, palms facing downwards. Bringing the legs back together. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Use your inhale to lift up through the chest. Peel the head and the shoulders off the mat. Pressing the hands into the floor. Keep breathing. Using the lower back strength to keep you lifted. Keep reaching up through the crown of the head. Maybe starting to lift the feet off the floor. Maybe the knees, maybe the bottom of the thighs. Keep squeezing through the legs. Can you start to reach the toes towards the back of the room as you reach the crown of the head forwards? Nice. If you're okay here, can you start to pick the hands up? Reach the hands towards the toes. Let the thumbs point downwards, little finger pointing upwards. Inhale, lift the chest up a little bit higher. Maybe inhale, lift the legs up a little bit higher. Lovely. Can we take one more breath? And then exhale, release. Bring one cheek to one side. Gently sway the hips from side to side, releasing the lower back. Coming back to center. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, tucking the toes. Let's push back into our downward facing dog. Let's take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Picking your right foot up, bring your right knee towards the back of your right wrist and allow your leg to go at a diagonal. So right knee is towards your right wrist and your right foot is in front of your left leg. Slide the left leg away. Make sure your left leg is in a straight line, it's not going over to one side, and all 5 toes are sinking into the mat. Now your right hip might be really high off the floor, and this is where using a block or a cushion, folding the cushion up if you need to, you can place a block underneath that right buttock if you want. If you're getting any knee pain, then please skip this pose. If you can't feel anything in your right hip, right thigh, then you can start to align that right foot in top of the top of your mat. Now, so you want to keep this right foot active, so try and push through the big toe mounds, supporting the knee. And again, try not to sink over to one side and hang out here. See if you can keep the hips parallel down towards the mat, as if they're car headlights and they're shining straight downwards. Walking the hands towards the knee if you can. Inhale, lifting up through the chest. Can you tuck the back toe and then shovel the knee backwards a little bit? Take a deep breath in. Exhale, coming down onto the forearms. If you have a block, maybe you can bring the forehead onto a block. Maybe you don't need a block and you can bring the forehead down towards the mat. Your breath is your best friend in this pose. So let's take some deep inhales and exhales. Bringing softness to the back of the neck, softness to the shoulders. Allowing gravity to hug you towards the floor. If you can't feel anything in your right hip, then send your foot a little bit further away from the body towards the top of your mat. Maybe you're okay here and you want to stay here for a little bit longer. If you want to go a bit deeper, stretch your left arm out in front of you and bring your right arm underneath, like you're doing thread the needle, bringing the right shoulder and the side of the head down to the floor. Then maybe you reach that extended arm, the left arm underneath you. Nice. We'll twist over to the other side. Release the left arm back in front. Nice. Right arm stretches out in front. Left arm goes underneath. Left shoulder, side of the head down towards the floor. And then bring that right arm behind you. Lovely. Bring the hands back through to center. Lift up the torso. This time come and sink back onto that right hip and swing the left leg around to the front. Embrace that fragility. Bring your right foot into your left thigh, making the L shape. Let's take an inhale, reach the arms up, twist the torso over the extended leg. Exhale, folding forwards, reaching to wherever you can. Inhale, shine the chest towards the toes. Exhale, folding forwards. Internally pressing that right thigh away from the body. Nice, lengthen through the spine. Notice how you're stretching over the left leg. You're also stretching that lower part to the right side of your lower back. Let's take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Inhale brings you all the way back up. Cross over the feet. Let's step back into our downward facing dog. Shake out your right leg, right hip, releasing that side. And just noticing how you feel from right to left. So we'll go over to the other side. So this time, bend your left knee, bring it behind your left wrist. Allow your lower leg to go at an angle. So left knee behind left wrist, left foot in front of your right hip, right thigh. Then start to walk that right leg backwards, keeping your hips nice and level. Try not to sink over to one side. If you're sinking too much, then prop yourself up with a pillow or again with a block underneath the hip. Flexing through your left foot, keep that engagement of the foot to protect the knee. If you can, start to make a bit of space between the ankle and the heel. Doesn't matter if you're not. Making sure your right foot, your right leg is in a straight line. So let's tuck the back toe, shuffle the knee backwards a little bit more, get a little bit deeper into the hips. Walking the hands backwards. Inhale, lift up through the torso. Exhale, coming to fold forwards. Doing whatever you did on the other side. And then start to take some deep inhales and exhales. Again, scanning the body from head to toe. Soften the face and the jaw. Soften the shoulders. Soften the hips all the way down to the toes. Either staying here if you wish. If you twisted on the other side, let's have a go on this side. Stretch your right arm forwards. Left arm goes underneath. Bring your left shoulder, side of the head, down to the mat. Keeping the right arm there, or start to reach it behind you towards the left hip. Gently releasing. Let's go over to the other side. Left hand reaches in front. Right arm scooches underneath. Back of the hand. Either left arm stays there or left arm reaches behind you towards the right hip. And then gently release. Let's bring ourselves all the way back up. This time coming to sink back on that left hip and then swing your right leg around to the front. Bringing your left foot in towards your right hip, your right thigh. Making a backwards shape L with your legs. Inhale, reach the arms up, twist over the extended leg and exhale, folding forwards. Nice, take an inhale to lengthen, exhale, folding forwards. Try and soften through the shoulders, keep shining the chest towards the toes. Take the awareness to the lower spine, should feel it in the back of the left hip this time. Doesn't matter how low or high you are in the fold, as long as you're feeling something in your body. And then let's inhale, come all the way back up. Now straightening both of the legs. Give the legs a little shake. Notice how you feel now we've done both sides. From here, let's bring the right knee in, foot onto the floor. Let's cross the leg over to the other side. You can keep it on the right side, but if you can, cross it over. Right hand comes behind you to help support the spine. And then bring the back of your left arm onto the top of your thigh. If that's too much of a twist, then you can just hug in the arm. Hug in the leg. You're bringing the back of the arm onto the thigh, following me. Let's take an inhale to lengthen. Exhale, twisting over to the right side. Try and twist through the torso and then allow the neck to just follow. Your left leg that is straight, keep that engaged toes pointing up to the sky. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist, just using your breath to move round. Last one. Inhale, come back to center. Let's take a counter twist. Keep the legs where they are. Twisting nice and gently over to the other side. Ooh, yes. And then gently release the right leg. Give it a shake. Other side, left leg comes in, either keeping the foot here, or if you crossed it over, let's do it on the other side. Left hand comes behind you. Inhale up with the right arm, back of the arm to the thigh, or hugging in the arm, whatever you did on the other side. Let's take an inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist over to the left. Keep your right leg engaged, toes pointing up to the sky. Deep breath in, reach through the crown of the head. Exhale, twisting round. 2 more breaths. And then inhale back to center. Let's take the hands over to the other side nice and gently. Counter twist. And then bring it back to center. Release the legs, give them a shake. From here, let's come into easy cross. Reach the arms out in front of you. Bring the right arm underneath the left. Bend at the elbows and reaching around for opposite palms, or just reach to wherever you can. Let's take an inhale to lengthen. Exhale, bring the elbows over the tops of the shins and allow the head to soften. Maybe you hang midair, maybe the forearms and the hands reach down towards the floor, but try and keep the buttocks in contact with the mat. Wherever you are, allow the head and the neck to relax. Head is heavy. Shoulder blades are moving away from one another. Take the awareness to the back of the torso as it opens up towards the sky. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale, lift yourself all the way back up. Release the arms, roll the shoulders away. Now, your legs have automatically gone in that comfy position, right? So let's cross over the awkward way. So bring your other leg on top. Feels very weird. So go for the awkward, easy cross. Reach the arms in front, opposite arms. Left arm goes underneath the right. Bend at the elbows, reach to wherever you can. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, folding forwards. Just trying to go as deep as you went on the other side. Noticing how different it feels with the awkward cross of the legs. Allow the head and the neck to relax. Open up the back of the body towards the sky. Nice, deepening that breath. And then inhale, coming all the way back up. Release the arms, roll the shoulders away. Let's extend the legs in front, but keep a bend in the knees. Bringing the feet down to the floor, so toes are on the floor, and allow the body to just sit against the thighs, dropping the head. You may want to hug the thighs in, whichever's comfortable for you, and try and soften the back of the body, opening up the lower spine, opening up the back of the neck. If you want to go for it, you can go for straight legs coming into a fold. Maybe you just hang there and let the body do its magic, not really aiming for any particular destination. Or maybe you want to be active through the legs, through the spine, relaxing the shoulders. I'll let you decide how your body's feeling, maybe hanging there like a rag doll or being active through the whole body. We're going to take 3 more breaths here. And then inhale brings you all the way back up. Now let's come and lie down. We're going to take a figure 4 with the legs. Bring your left ankle on top of your right knee. Walking your right heel inwards, this may be enough. If you want to go deeper, you can grab hold of the back of your thigh. Try and internally push that left thigh away from the body and keep your ankle and your knee in a straight line by flexing your foot. Soften the shoulders, keep the whole spine in contact with the floor. Try and soften the back of the neck by tucking in the chin. As you exhale, there may be space to pull that right thigh in. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. Release the right leg down. Left leg goes up towards the sky. Wrap your hands behind the back of your thigh. Maybe the hands stay the back of your thigh. Try and avoid the back of the knee. If it can go higher, then bring the hands towards the calf. Right leg can stay bent, or you can start to straighten it away as we lengthen the hamstrings. We spend a lot of time sitting down, shortening the hamstrings and the hip flexors, so it's really good to try and get nice and deep into there. Let's take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. And then gently release. Bring both feet back to the floor. Cross your right ankle over your left knee, internally pressing the right thigh away, either staying here or grabbing hold of your left thigh. Again, relax the shoulders, back of the neck long, tucking in the chin. If there's space, pull the left thigh in, internally pushing that right thigh away. Keep flexing through your right foot, right knee, ankle, toes in a straight line. Nice. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Release your left leg. Take your right leg up to the sky, grabbing hold of the back of the thigh. Either staying here or going towards the back of the shin. Left knee can stay straight or you can can stay bent or you can straighten it away. Take an inhale. Exhale, melt into the stretch. Take one more breath. And then bringing both knees in. Give yourself a big hug. Gently rock from side to side, massaging either side of your lower spine. Maybe taking some circles with the knees. If you're taking circles, coming back to rocking from side to side. Now as you rock from side to side, you reach that edge where you can't go any further. Can you stay on that edge? So slight balancing act, but getting right into the kidney area. May feel a little bit tender, just breathe through it and rock over to the other side. Nice, do one more time each side. And then gently release. Let's bring the forehead to the knees to the forehead. Pull the navel to the spine. Press the lower spine down into the mat. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. Gently release. Allow the legs to fall to the bottom of the mat. Toes fall out to the sides. Tuck in the shoulders. Arms by your sides. If the lower back still feels a little bit tight, then you can bend the knees. Take the feet wide and allow the knees to fall together. Lift the hips up, press the lower part of the spine down and then relax. Allow your body to melt into stillness. Namaste.